go. Now we're live.
Yeah.
Kyle, you just broke the big news. Share it with our Patreon members first.
So this guy Josh, who helps me out, like doing odds and ends. I need to do some work today. I need to pick up some furniture and move it, build some sets we're gonna burn down. And so I hire this guy on for the day, and we're driving along, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I appreciate you, getting me out here, get a few hours in. Got a baby on the way. I just found out the other night. Guess she's 8 weeks along." And I was in my head, I'm like doing the math on that, and I'm like, "Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm happy to help out. I need some help, and you need some cash. This should be good for both of us." In my head, I'm thinking like, "Pull the rip cord, pull it, pull it, like get her in your car and hit a fucking tree, bro. Do whatever it takes."
Oh no!
Go ride a bunch of roller coasters with her, and then do some meth or something. Like, you gotta go. Yeah, I gotta do something. His life.
Was he saying it in a way of like, man, I'm like 8 weeks in, I'm so excited, or was it like a death sentence? Like, I got the chair in August. Like,
I can't remember exactly what he said. He said something like, he said something negative about it, but then he followed that with, "But I guess you gotta get started sometime." And I'm like, "No, you don't."
No,
really.
That's optional. That's an opt-in thing.
No, but that's what you want to know as a potential future child. That's what your dad was saying. Well, you got to get started sometime. Like, what a horrible life that child's going to have. Unless you keep hiring him.
Life. You have to keep in mind that this guy's sole source of income until May, he told me, where he has some outlook, is me. And I'll need him he'll make $350 a month from me. So it'll be something like that, like he'll get. I pay him $10 a fucking hour. Like this is not rocket science we're doing.
You know what? Bernie Sanders thinks you should pay him $15 an hour.
Bullshit. This guy has zero skills. I have to walk him through every task he does. He often does that poorly. I've still got calluses and blisters on my hands from last time when the motherfucker didn't know how to dig a hole. He didn't know how to dig a hole. I had to teach him. And after I taught him, he was like, "Oh, that's pretty good right there. I didn't realize that's how those hole diggers work." And I was like, "Yeah, it's not like a complicated mechanism, bro."
You told him to dig a hole, and he couldn't figure it out?
Are you familiar with like post-hole diggers? It's you like stab it around and then
Very straightforward.
On the way in, you want the handles close together because that gives you a wide mouth as they go on the ground, and then you pull them apart to pinch the dirt that you've acquired, and then you remove it outside the hole. He was doing the opposite of that. He was stabbing the hole with the things open, and then opening them and sort of like going in and doing that. Like, he was doing this to the ground. And there's been like no dirt coming out, and he's like, "I think I hit a rock." And I'm like, "I think you got hit in the head with a rock at some point, but your problem here is purely mechanical." And then the last time, this isn't the first time he's fucked up digging holes, and it's not the first time he's tried to dig a hole, which really blew my mind when I realized he didn't know.
Last time, yeah.
Last time he did hit a rock, and he didn't stop until he ruined the post hole diggers. Like, the steel was bending and tearing. The steel was tearing because he kept hitting this rock with it over and over and over because I wasn't there to watch him work. So he's a $10 hour kind of guy.
Well, he's got some stick-to-itiveness, Kyle wanted a hole right here, and I'm going to get a hole right here.
He broke that thing pretty quickly. He really, even when he figured out how to dig the holes, like, he would be gassed after 60 seconds of labor, and I'd have to take over. And it's just like, well, shit, man, what the $10 an hour? That's right. Oh yeah. So that's what he gets. We went and got a bunch of thrift store furniture today. I'm gonna burn all that up, and I'm going back out tomorrow. I'm gonna buy a whole shitload of fire extinguishers. I'm gonna shoot those to put out a car fire. I think that's gonna be pretty neat. Just acquire a few more odds and ends for some filming we're doing this month. I'm trying to get a few different things done. I'm planning a vacation at some point.
Where are you gonna go?
I think we're gonna go to Colorado. Kitty's got friends out there, and they've come here before and visited with us. Those are cool guys, so I'm going to go hang out at their place this time. They've been here at least twice, maybe 3 times, and they come out here, and I take them shooting and stuff, and we have a good time. So this time I'm going to them. I think we're going to get a big cabin or something. We're looking at one now and has just amazing mountain views, but it's really remote. It's not like Denver or anything. It's some. I think we're 5 hours from Denver in some really remote corner of Colorado, but I know very little about Colorado geography.
You just know that there's a bit of a hubbub about weed. And
I've heard
the outside of the cabin probably doesn't even matter. You'll just have one of those pot suckers and melt into the couch.
I'm hoping it's gonna be a good time. They said there's these natural springs there. Here's my.
I've been to those. They're awesome. The hot springs.
Yeah, the hot springs. So how do you ever trust that? Because that's hot boiling. That water was okay. So that water started out probably as steam somewhere underground because it's being heated. It's been heated up underground. And it's rising up and it's cooling as it comes to the point where it gets up here and it's pleasant. It's the perfect temperature for you. What's to say there isn't some like minor earthquake, shake up down below, and some scalding fucking like 1,000-degree shit doesn't come up and cook you right there. You could be cooked.
You know, I've never thought about that. And I probably wouldn't have gotten in if I had thought about that. But
I'm not going to get in.
It's possible. I've never heard of anything like that happening. But
I heard about a guy's dog going in some boiling hot. I think it was like maybe a geyser or something like that. But I remember the dog fell in and he went in after it. And I know the guy died. But like the idea of being boiled alive in a hot spring, and like you're going to die and then fall down into the water and just be boiled until they're just meat and bone. I don't want any part of that. So. Kitty can get in the hot spring, and my girlfriend can hop in there too. But I absolutely want no part of that.
You're gonna sit on the outside and shiver, watching them in the nice warmth.
I'll stay in the fucking cabin. I'm not going. I'm not going to those hot springs. It sounds like a
Chiba chews and just relax. That will be neat. If that's a real open invitation, I might take you up on that.
So we did have a couple coming with us, but they canceled on us. So we do need. It's the place we're getting is like $380 a night or something like that, and so we figured we'd split that 3 ways. So yeah, you and your girlfriend are more than welcome to come. We're looking for some people to come.
Send me the info and the dates on that.
Yeah, I will do that. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good time. We're staying for like 5 days, something like that.
I'm really excited to go into one of those pot shops just to see what it's like. Like
you're just gonna be like, really? I can
have some. You don't mind? It's not illegal. Like that's. I've one of my buddies, one of my good friends, who visited here recently. He lives there. He's lived there for a couple of years. When I stopped by his condo or apartment, whatever, in Colorado, I expected it to be like, yeah, man, I got all this pot. We'll just roll a joint and smoke it. It was like smoking was not even on his radar anymore. Like, it was all weird, like, Listerine strip style things that you put on your tongue and you're just high. Or he had a bunch of, like, Tootsie Roll looking things where I was like, oh, that's neat. Like, will that get you a little buzz? Kind of a fun buzz. And he's like, oh, no, man. You eat a third of those. You do not eat that whole little Tootsie Roll size thing because you will be on the floor, just baked out of your mind. Like, when you get white-faced and like, shaking, you're so high. It looks really neat, and Colorado's making a fucking haul on weed. So much money.
Yeah, Kitty's really interested in the CBD aspect of it. I guess it's the part of the marijuana that doesn't get you high, but it's a really effective painkiller for her arthritis. It seems. So she likes to get CBD oil and like make creams and salves out of it. So she knows some guys that are into that stuff, and I think they actually grow a special strain of weed that's like high CBD. Like if you were to smoke it, from what I understand, like you wouldn't get anything. Like it's just like there's no THC in it. It's like all CBD. Like I think normally it's like 15 to 20% THC and then like a tiny amount of CBD, but they like went the opposite with it so they can make like a real pain relieving strain of marijuana.
I don't like that idea. All the fun of being high. You smoke it and then you don't have ulcer pain in your stomach anymore. Yeah, which is a good idea. But does Kitty not like the feeling? Like she just wants the pain to go away.
Well, she wants to be able to work. She wants to use it as a painkiller, like because she's allergic to a lot of painkillers, and then some others are ineffective, and some others cause complications with other drugs she's on. So she's really limited as to what she can take as a painkiller that won't act like a narcotic. Like she has some painkillers than when she's in a lot of pain from her arthritis or whatever, or maybe she'll have a hip pop out of joint. I've popped her hip back in a joint a couple times. Whatever
What's
happened.
that process like?
Physical therapist kind of walked me through it one time. She lies on her back and kind of brings her knee up, and there's some pressure.
Is there like a noise when it goes back in?
I never know if it has or not. She knows though.
Huh.
She's like, yep.
Have you ever pulled your arm out of socket?
Not all the way, but definitely part way. My left arm, and now if I'm lifting something at a certain angle, I feel it start to slide out again, and it's excruciating. And I lose all strength in this arm temporarily. I have to be like, all right, we're good
like
again.
You're doing it, and then it just like
exactly.
Like there's nothing holding it. That's how my left arm is now. I had to have my hockey coach pop it back in once, and it was awful.
I have no idea how I acquired that injury. I've had a lot of bad falls from ATVs, and like in my teenage years, I had 3 or 4 concussions in like a 4-year period. I fell off a rope swing, and there were 2 ATV wrecks where I went flying, and so I was always getting hurt. So I'm not really sure how I did that, but it's a reoccurring thing. And when it happens, it's like, that stupid thing again. And it's really painful in a way that is difficult to deal with. It's such a sharp pain. That sucks. But yeah, I'll get you those dates and everything. Just a quick update for the Patreon people. I'm not going to beat this into like every show, talk about Wings Redemption hot sauce or anything, but I am many steps closer to having a product in everyone's hands and getting out to you guys. I've figured out how to get the hot sauce. We haven't picked the exact flavor we're going to go with. I'm getting samplers for everyone, so all of us here will have samplers. I'm going to send Wing some samplers, and I've picked out like several hot sauces, and we're going to pick the one we want to use. It's down to 2 in my head, but I think everybody's going to get at least 3, maybe 4. And I've got pricing from 5 different companies, so I think we've figured out a way to get the best product to the fans at the lowest price. Shipping is going to be a bit of an issue. I think we'll set up some sort of merchant shop somewhere. I don't care where. If Etsy is like, oh yeah, it's done, then I would do Etsy. But if there's some like Painkiller already redirect we can do somewhere and get it done another way, I don't care. But I feel like we need, with shipping, to have a case-to-case basis. You know, like your shipping should be what it actually costs to get the product to you. Mm-hmm. My girlfriend does $8 flat rate shipping on her stuff because it's $9 to go to California, and it's, that's the most inside the U.S. But then it goes down from there. So she does 8, and it's kind of a middle ground for everybody. But I don't want everybody paying $8 or $9 shipping for a bottle of hot sauce. If you're in Tennessee and you want a bottle of this hot sauce, I can get it to you for like $2. So we'll just have to take it on a case-to-case basis as far as shipping and handling. But we're getting there, and it's going to happen, and I'm pretty happy about it.
Dude, yeah. So that's, I don't mean to cut you off, but did you see that other sponsor? Did you sign up? I know Taylor and I did. The thing that she told us to look at?
I signed up.
I don't even know what they're called, and I don't mean to pimp them more than they're paying for, but I think their service is neat. They have a consultant that helps you pick out clothes. I could use that. Like, I know we all joke about the Woody's Gamer shorts, but like ugly shorts and a malfitting t-shirt is kind of my look, and it's not a flattering one.
No.
I think you look good in button-up shirts. If I were your stylist, I'd be sending. I think you need straight leg jeans. Like, that's the look for you. Not skinny, not relaxed. You need straight leg jeans. I think you need to wear a thick belt, like a wide belt. Because I never know where your waistline is, because sometimes you wear those shirts and they're hanging over shorts. I feel like you need to establish that, and I feel like it would make your shoulders are broad. I feel like a button-up shirt and dark jeans is the look for you, because I've seen you in button-up shirts and it looks really good.
So like tuck the shirt is what you're saying Woody should do?
I think so. I think he's a tuck shirt.
Can you even tuck a shirt? Like
you can tuck a long sleeve shirt, totally. A long sleeve button up, yeah.
I used to tuck in every shirt I owned, and then suddenly that became like a capital offense. And
yeah, you don't want to tuck in a t-shirt. You look like Rain Man, like just walking around like a maniac.
See, but 20 years ago you tucked in a t-shirt. If you didn't tuck in a t-shirt, it was because you were too fat. Yeah. Now that's not the case.
I think you look good tucked.
I think I look better tucked too. I feel like the way that a shirt hangs on me, Like it just makes me look as fat as my rib cage all the way through. I wish I could get a T-shirt that looked right on me. Kyle's right. A button-down
Well, where do you
shirt
usually get T-shirts? Do you get fitted, or you just buy boxy
from my closet?
T-shirt?
I don't know where they come from.
So you don't go. They just show up there and put them on.
Yeah.
The ultimate. I really wish that you were always wearing Tech Tuesday shirts, and that could be a running joke. That would be so funny.
I should just be my look. Tech Tuesday and plaid shorts always.
But yeah, the way this site works is it asked me for a lot of information. I'm not even sure if I gave it I guess maybe I gave it the minimum amount of information, but I really need to go back and fill in more because it's every little thing, including the part where they want you to upload a photograph of yourself so they can see your skin and your hair and your eyes, and they can make sure that they're coordinating according to that. And so I uploaded a picture of me with like a 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum going off in my hand and like a big fireball.
I didn't do that for. I think you're right. A button-down shirt looks good on me. It's not that comfy sometimes, and I wish I could find.
I find it helps with posture. Like if I'm wearing a button-down, if you slouch in a button-down shirt, you get like a belly. It's like I'm
like
not
pokes out, like it up, and you look all
but
sloppy.
So if I'm wearing one, I make sure my shoulders are back and I make sure I'm standing straight, and I feel like I've got better posture if I'm wearing one of those. I like them. I wear them a lot. I usually don't tuck them unless it's more of a formal kind of situation. But that's what I like to wear. So I don't think I want to. Buying pants online just seems impossible. I've tried it like 3 different times. It never goes well. But I definitely want some tops and maybe shoes and whatever else they do there. That's a really cool idea.
Yeah, I'm excited
hesitant
about the
with
service.
pants online. Pants online seems like, even if I go to the store, like one brand of 32 32s or 33 32s is not the same as another brand. Like
Nope.
It seems like it'd be impossible because it's just the number of inches around the waist. But it's
and
never
there are like vanity brands that it'll say it's a 32 waist, and I'll put it on and I'll be like, holy shit, this is huge! What the fuck? Like this is just so some fatty can come in here and be like, yeah, I'm still a 32, baby. What are you talking about?
Same size as college, am I right? Like,
if I wear a loose T-shirt, it looks sloppy and ugly. If I wear a tight T-shirt, sometimes it fits in an unflattering way. It'll be a problem area that gets really put on display.
Where it's like too tight in like that lower back area.
That's
like,
a spot. Or
get overweight,
man boobs can be a thing, or like you said, like the love handles I think of as on the side. This is almost the back of a love handle, and like the same spot you're pointing out, like back here, and it's like, is there some T-shirt that fits as flattering as a button-down shirt? Is it the material? I don't know, that it's stretchy and cotton that doesn't. I don't know, but if they have little style consultants there, then that might be nice.
Yeah, that's
cool.
cool.
Where do you guys shop for clothes usually? Like I just go to like Nordstrom and get clothes.
It depends.
I don't even know.
I haven't been like shopping in a while, but if I'm really going on like a shopping trip, if I'm like, hey, let's go to the mall, I'll go to Bloomingdale's or something like that, and get like a whole. I've gone to Bloomingdale's and like gotten a whole wardrobe before, but if I'm just usually now it's kind of like a piece at a time. I'm like, I need a new pair of pants, or I need one new shirt, or I don't really go like when I was a kid, it was like, all right, it's time to get your back to school clothes. Let's get your whole wardrobe for this year. And but now as an adult, it's like, let's add this to the collection. So I usually go to like Calvin Klein, Banana Republic, sometimes to Ralph Lauren, but I don't if I want a polo shirt or something. But I haven't gone there lately.
Have you ever been to Brooks
Express?
Brothers?
Yeah. If I'm getting like something more formal, what was it? Express for Men. I like them a lot. I like Express for Men's like button-down shirts, and I don't have a big collection of ties, but I've got half a dozen or so. I got most of my ties there, and their jeans are okay, but they kind of fit in they're a little too skinny.
Yeah, Express. I like Express and H&M for their really cheap fitted T-shirts. Like they're so much cheaper than everywhere else, and based on a documentary that I watched with Melissa like a week ago, it's because it's little Cambodian kids sewing that under pain of death if they don't get those,
I like knowing that.
T's out.
Good for
I like
you for
knowing
employing Cambodians. What would they be doing otherwise?
Yeah.
Whatever
Without
Cambodians
my pennies, they just be digging in the dirt somewhere like fucking savages.
Selling
Enjoy
dirt.
what you get, Cambodia.
Dude, it's a tough thing, man. Like, all this pay is based on supply and demand. That's the deal. And there are sometimes efforts, like Bernie Sanders is going under, to just like, you know what? I think everyone should be paid more. But unless that's global, then the jobs just will move to Cambodia. And
Yeah,
I love that guys are like, oh, they raised the minimum wage in Seattle, and the baristas are still fine there. Now, there's no problems. And it's like, yeah, right. But you do that at a national level, and manufacturing just leaves the country, which is effectively what we've seen. Like,
It's already left the country in all of the Midwest cities that used to rely, like the whole Rust Belt, all the Midwest cities that used to rely on production, especially Detroit.
Unions have accomplished what people want to try again, which is raising the pay rate for people in manufacturing, and it chased manufacturing out of the nation. And like in my head, it's like, hey, scores posted. But other people feel the opposite and say, hey, Seattle's fine, scores posted. And it's like, no, man.
Yeah.
Like
It's because the other 49 states are propping Seattle up right now at the Starbucks Corporation. Like,
Oh,
Starbucks
can you believe
is
that
not
Seattle is fine 3 days after they implemented this? Like, they just initiated this. Like, it's not like it's a storied history of decades of success.
And we're talking about Seattle, right? Like, if Seattle was like the largest manufacturer of T-shirts in America, then that'd be different. But I think of them basically as a service-based city, right? Like that. There's not a lot of manufacturing going on in the city itself, where the minimum wage.
Is there any
is up.
fishing there?
There is fishing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's coastal and all, and that
I
views. I remember the sunset there was beautiful. We were out on one of those outdoor restaurants with the seagulls attacking you and everything. We all ate there one night. You know the one, that seafood restaurant down by the water.
I haven't been to Seattle.
No?
Nope.
You weren't on that trip. Oh, wow.
No.
Everybody was. Oh, I remember. That was the trip when Wings had the meltdown with Syndicate. That's what was going on in the real in
Really?
like your at the time. Yeah. I was in Seattle, and it was like, I don't know, name a YouTuber, T. Martin, and everybody we know was at this big long table. And we were eating dinner and drinking and everything.
Who's
and
the
then
tall
we left.
white guy, like threatening albino?
Fuck.
Thin
Is it
too.
that guy who cams?
No.
So that's the one with the disease.
He has a name that's not easy to remember. That guy who camps has alopecia
Alopecia or something.
Alopecia.
Yeah,
It's like hair doesn't grow anywhere on your body, I think.
Yep. This guy, I want to call him Murka Durka, but obviously that's not him. MuzzaFuzza.
MuzzaFuzza. Yeah, I like that.
MuzzaFuzza.
Man,
He's actually really cool.
Yeah,
and
he is.
really tall and really, really, really white.
I've ran into him in so many weird places, like on the street in Los Angeles. Just like there's a MuzzaFuzza, and you can't miss him.
Yeah,
right?
you'll see him. Last time I saw him, he was wearing Google Glass.
Yeah. That rings a bell for some reason, but I don't think I saw him wearing them. But in any case, we've left the restaurant. We're walking uphill because that's everything in Seattle is uphill. It seems like I don't know. There's never anywhere to go that's downhill. And so we're all walking up this hill, and someone breaks the news. They're like, Wings just had a fucking meltdown on PKA. He quit PKA and this and that. And I'm just like, what? What happened? What this and that? And there was just all these crazy reports about what had happened. We're getting it like 2 or 3. We're getting Twitter reports and shit like that. But they're like, they told the news was out. Wings lost a 1v1 against Syndicate, and I remember thinking like, yeah, of course he did, man. That guy's beast.
Yeah, Syndicate's good at Call of Duty. He was in COD 4. He was a multiplayer guy. People think of him as a zombies guy, but he had multiplayer skills. There was another guy too. I forget. We did this Commentator Showdown. And I forget who the other guy was, but
I remember that.
He was kind of known as a zombies person, and he represented. I want to say he finished like top third, amongst the 20 people in free for all, and that was a good showing.
I've been to Seattle once, and I drove. I had to go there with Melissa because she wanted to see some band that I hated, did not want to go. Gogol Bordello. It's like a gypsy punk band where there's like 9 Armenians on the stage, like hooting and hollering and like running like the spoon on the clothes cleaner, like it's fucking out of control, and I'm stressed out. I don't want to go, but I have to drive like 9 hours to Seattle from Idaho, where I was living at the time.
You drove 9 hours.
I've
for
made
a
that
gypsy
drive.
Punk band of
We
Armenians
stayed for 3 days, so we had like a whole weekend and shit planned. And I got there, and as I was parking for the concert, I was like, man, something really sounds off with my engine right now. I'm like, my car isn't sounding okay. We go in, I get all sweaty with other people's sweat, jumping around, hooting with the Armenians, and I leave, and she's like, oh, this is so much fun, and I'm like, eh. And then we get into my car, I start it, and I'm like, we're going back to fucking wherever, Renton or whatever that place is, near Seattle. Pull out, don't get 200 yards, and there's just steam and just so much shit shooting out of the top, out of the crease where my hood closes. And I'm like, God fucking damn it, fuck, fuck. And I was screaming and yelling, and I finally just pulled into a gas station. It's 12:30, pouring rain, and I'm standing outside on the phone with AAA. They're arguing with me that I'm not a member anymore, and if there was a gun there, I would have ended it. Like, it was horrible, horrible. I sat there, and then this old fucking fogey in a pickup truck, like not even like a tow truck, just like a pickup truck with like that weird crane on the end, shows up 40 minutes later. It's after 1 a.m., and me and Melissa get in his car, and he's towing us to the to the hotel. And I just remember she's like, so, it wasn't all bad, right? We had some fun, and I just wouldn't look at her. Just looking forward, pissed off. We finally get to, or I guess he took us back to the hotel afterward. He took my car to the shop, and I left it in the shop parking lot, wrote my information down on a little slip, dropped it in the drop box, and the next morning I got a call from the guy, and he's like, hey, you dropped off the black Chrysler 300 last night, real early in the morning? I was like, yeah, I did. How much is that going to run me to fix that? And he's like, yeah, no, we can do that. Unfortunately, your car was broken into last night.
Oh,
and the rear passenger window is shattered. We can put a new one in there, but we can't match the tint 100%. And I was like, just fucking do it. Just fucking do it. I ended up spending $1,900 on my car to go to a fucking show that I didn't want to go to in the first place. I was livid. I had to, even more than that, $1,900 on my car, and I had to spend like an extra $400 to stay in the hotel for an extra 3 days while they got all the parts and made my car work again. It was horrible.
So
those must have been
how
great
close
days.
was the tint?
I didn't even leave the hotel room. We walked to Popeyes to get dinner at one point because I was like, I'm not going back into Seattle. Fuck that city. Lived in St. Louis my whole life. Car's fine. Seattle for 2 days. Broken in.
How close was the tint?
I can still tell a difference. Like my whoever had my car before me illegally tinted it. Like I had a cop pull me over once, clearly on nothing, and he took this little machine out, and they put it over the window, and it'll say like, oh, this is whatever %, and he put it on there, and I had to act like I had no idea. Where I was like, this is illegal, really? Like, even though I can't see out of it at night, like that's crazy. I couldn't believe it. And he put it in, and he put like the highest legal amount to match it, and it's still so much lighter. I hate Seattle. I'm never going back.
Oh, you should have told him to put the illegal shit in there. They always do it for me. I always tint them illegally. Like whatever it is, like 97% or whatever, blocking stuff out. Like whatever I'm like, what's the darkest thing you've got? And I'm like, yeah, that shit you put at the top of a windshield just as an accent. Put that everywhere.
I can't see out of my car when I back out at night hardly. Like and with my eyes, that's an awful combination of someone backing out with no vision essentially. Like it. Not a good.
That is problematic.
The drug dealer who had my car before me.
You need a rear-facing camera so you can like see what's going on over there.
Do you have that in your Camaro?
No, I don't.
In your truck, then probably, right?
Nope. I rented a car. The last 2 rental cars we've have had it, and I really like it. And Kitty's car has it actually.
Notice he didn't ask me if the Tacoma has a rear-facing camera.
Yeah. Does your 1991 Tacoma have a rear-facing camera?
An aftermarket one for like probably cheap, really cheap. I mean, if you think about it, like you could wire your own up. Incredibly cheap. It's nothing. Like that technology is
When
about
you
as cheap
wire
as it
your
gets.
own up, it's always like another thing to maintain. Like
Mm.
that's always been my experience. Like, all right, now I've got like a bare wire laced through the frame with zip ties that most of the time isn't an issue, but
Right,
every
put a
so
little
often
conduit.
I've got stuff in conduits, and I just feel like, like if you go to the battery on my truck, there's like, I don't know, 6 things attached to the battery that like between the winch, I have a fuse block in there.
Yeah.
I've got an air compressor under the hood, and I don't know what else. And it's just like, yeah, now for the rest of the life of this truck, there's just a little more shit to deal with.
Get an air compressor.
I do, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It is cool. It's coming really handy.
Is there any way to like run that into the engine and have some sort of make it like a
turbo?
supercharger?
I don't know.
You, like flip the switch. Tacoma.
When you go off-roading, like if you can imagine, look at this, I have a watch, right? If this is a rock and you have a really firm round tire, then it just kind of skids against it. But if you deflate it, then the tire can grip it a little better. I don't know if this is working. And,
Pretty well.
And kind of get like a nice little grip that helps it get on top. And so when you go off-roading, you deflate your tires to like 8 PSI. But then when you're ready to go home, you fill them up again. So I have an air compressor under the hood.
Yeah, that drive you made from Idaho to Seattle, I made the opposite of that before. That is the most... Jesus, there's nothing out there. I remember just flat fields, full of some crop. I don't even know what it was.
From Seattle to Idaho?
Yeah.
Was it windy?
I don't remember any wind. I just remember it was so boring that like I got outside the car and like sat on the hood while we drove down. There was this long flat stretch of road that went on as far as the eye could see, and I got up on the hood of the truck and we got up to like 60 miles an hour, and I'm like riding up there for a while. I was climbing out the windows Dukes of Hazzard style and getting on the roof and sitting up there and
I
like
used to do that as a teenager.
Yeah, there's fucking nothing in Idaho until you get to Boise in South. Like you drive in just like you said, a barren wasteland of nothing and desert, and then you go up a mountain range and down a mountain range, and then you're in the valley where Boise is. And then if you keep driving, you go back up the mountain range and back down in this valley, and then you're back into nothing.
Yeah, I flew out of Boise back to Atlanta, made my buddies drive the car the rest of the way on their own.
From Boise to Atlanta?
Yeah, well, see, so they drove from Atlanta to Seattle and picked my ass up, and then we went from there down to Oregon, and then it was the time for the journey home. Well, I was like, well, just drop me off in fucking Idaho, and I'll see you guys next week. Let them fucking drive back. I don't like those long road trips. I've made a bunch of them, and they don't get better as you go. Every time I do it, I'm just like, why did we do this fucking again? This is awful.
It's not fun. I mean, I had to do that drive pretty recently from Boise to St. Louis, which is not as far as Boise to fucking Atlanta, which would be horrible. But like you're okay when you're driving through scenic areas, but when you have to drive the entire length of Wyoming and Nebraska in a 2-day stretch, there's fucking nothing in either of those states. Wyoming is a hilly Nebraska, and Nebraska is just Kansas too.
We had so many pictures from Oregon, so many pictures from Washington State, so many pictures from all these places on the way. But you get to like when they went through those states, and I'm like flipping through the phone. I'm like, what happened between Michigan and the West Coast? There's nothing. Like once they got past those bullshit flats like Nebraska or whatever, they're like we're at Mount St. Helens taking pictures, we're up on mountaintops pretending like we're mountain climbers, because it's like a cliffhanger like visual effect where it looks like you're on the edge of a precipice, but really you can just hop down and walk away.
Oh my God. I've got a story, your old like ruining a bathroom by shitting story. That popped back in my head and I remembered this. So when you're driving through Wyoming, it's almost like Australia, where you drive through and it's like last gas station for 230 miles. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm like at 3/4 of a tank, but I'm not risking this. So I pull in, and as I'm filling up, I just get that like drop in my stomach of like, I got to take a shit right now. So I go in, I ask for the bathroom. The guy says that you have to buy something in his shop to use the bathroom, not just gas. So I like grab a 5-hour energy, pay $3, and then I just shuffle off with my like stiff-legged, got a shit walk. And it was this horrible little bathroom, disgusting, awful, like it's just gross. And I go in and I take the foulest shit of my life. And this guys, this isn't like an Amco or a Texaco station. This is just some dude's gas station, and I just befoul his holiest of holies, and then wash my hands, go back to flush it, and it's a no go. It won't launch. It'll flush and it rises. And I learned before that it lowered another ½ inch, and I'm like, I'm not going to flush this again.
Flush it again.
And so I quickly walked out of this guy's bathroom. I was the only one in the gas station, and he was like, anything else I can help you with? And I'm like, all right, no, I'm good. And so I just quickly walked out of the gas station, got in my car, unloaded the pump, just drove off as quickly as possible, knowing that guy probably walked in there 20 minutes later, just like, oh, God damn it. Just a ruined bath, just a big bowl full of rancid shit that he had to deal with. But I was well on my way then. So
I've got a story. It doesn't top
so
it.
bad.
If anything, it under it. But so we're driving from Florida to North Carolina, home from my parents' house. And I'm sick, right? There's something wrong with my belly. I think I had like gravy on chicken or something like that. Fast food gravy. It's a risk,
that's good stuff.
Right? Maybe cream soup. I don't know. But my belly is bad. And I'm just barely make it to the gas station at all. Like I think it was a McDonald's. And then we pull in there and I just go straight for the bathroom and they're busy. And I'm just, oh my God. I managed to hold out like the next 90 seconds and someone comes out. I sit there and kaboom, right? It's a nightmare. It smells so bad that I can hardly take my own smell. It is
like the air around you is warming up.
Oh, it's horrific. I've never done it since
like,
or
it's so
prior
bad
to that. It's
Like,
just like I almost want to throw up from my own stink, which typically I'm tolerant to because, everyone likes their own recipe. And I go and I spend like an extra long time on the toilet, making sure that there is no more left to evacuate, that I've got everything done that I need to. But the smell won't go away. It's horrific. And there's a guy like out. There's 2 stalls, but I guess they're both busy or something. And there's a guy standing there just waiting to come in. And my favorite part of the story.
People shit at that McDonald's.
I guess so. So I leave the stall and the guy walks in and he does one of these deals. Like he comes in and goes, "Whoa!" and then he backs away and doesn't enter the stall because the odor was so bad. He just, I guess he let it dissipate. I don't know. But he
went shit in the floor somewhere. He's like, fuck that.
I don't know what process happens in the human body that can create such a nightmare of that odor.
I know. I made myself. I was really like, I guess it was my freshman year of college in the dorm. I was super hungover one like Sunday morning or something, and I went into the bathroom, like turned the shower on. It wasn't a big shower with the curtain. It was just like you close the door and it's a little cubicle shower with the glass door, so it seals pretty tight. And I got the water all hot. I'm starting to feel a little bit better, and I let out a fart, and it was so thick and meaty and just earthy, just horrific, that I made myself throw up from my own fart smell in the shower. I just farted, and I was like, oh, that feels better. And I was like, oh. Just threw up. I had to like stomp down little chunks of whatever the fuck I was eating the night before through the little grate on the bottom. And
yeah.
I never understand when people are like, oh, I like the smell of my own farts. No, it repulses me.
They don't have your same diet.
Showers showers have a magnifying effect on smells too. I read the scientific explanation on I read the scientific explanation on the internet at one point, but I've forgotten it. Something to do with
the humidity, and then you've got sort of a convection current created by the hot water down there and the cold air above.
You're right, but in particular, like I think methane combines with the water molecules in the air and turns into something more awful than it was previously. It's so bad. You
should myth bust that.
Bad when you fart and create a new molecule. How many rats are you taking over there, Jim? I just had a bean burrito. It's fucking awful.
When was
So all right, so I would stay at my girlfriend's house, and in the morning she would always wake up before me, and she'd be in the bathroom like doing her makeup, and I in the morning I have to take a colossal shit. Because I've spent the whole, if I'm at her house and the night before we're like up partying and drinking and eating and like I eat a lot at night. So in the morning it's time to go. And so this would happen repeatedly where I would get to the bathroom and there she is like standing there and I'm like, I need to use the bathroom. But she's just like stepping away for like 30 seconds or something. And in my head I'm thinking like, don't you know? I got a shit? Come on. Like I'm not like, I shit, right? Like I think we all know that. Like, don't you know? Like, cause she'd be like, "Oh, are you about done in there?" And I'm just like, "All right, I'm just not gonna be able to shit today. I just can't shit, and I have to so bad." So I like make an excuse. I'm like, I'm gonna go to Target and get some socks and some graphic tees. I think I'll stay here a couple extra days. I figured that was a good excuse. And I was, and so I
shit.
It was gonna be bad. I knew it was. It's so bad that as I'm shitting, like as it's like shitting, I flush mid shit so that some of it just goes straight down the pipe. Like I don't want it to be in the room at all.
Yeah,
I want it going from butt to sewer as fast as possible.
Right.
So mid shit, I'm flushing,
move.
and it's right. It helps a lot with the smell.
It does.
But even then, I feel like I've got to wait until like she's meditating or she's like watching a movie or something, and I know I've got like a long period of time. So I had to go to Target. So I go into Target, and I ruined it. I remember it just smelled so bad, and I knew it was going to smell bad. So like I preemptively get like a bunch of toilet tissues ready. Like I'm like, all right, this is one wipe, and I like put it in my pants that are like around my ankles. I'm like, get another. This is wipe 2. Put that down. Then I'm like, oh, this is at least a 3 wiper. And I get them already so that when I finally start shitting and that room starts smelling like, I don't know, the whole bowl of guacamole I ate the night before, plus the medium meat lovers pizza, plus like that pepperoni stick I just had to have from the gas station. Like I want to be able to like get out of there ASAP. I don't like shitting in public places at all. I can count the times I've done it.
You know what I like?
I've
I
got a
think it's
really
my
good
bidet. My bidet is awesome. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of poop you have, you exit that thing better than shower fresh. You are there. You've just pressure washed your hiney at the end of this thing. Also, if you run the a mild warm water pressure wash, but still, this is
like 40 psi. Don't be scared.
Yeah, don't be scared. You'll be good. And beyond that, it takes like an extra second, right? So like if you normally use the toilet, the little fan that runs, it's evacuating the air that's running, but you might leave and turn the fan off knowing that it's just 80% better than what it could have been. But if you have another like 60 seconds on the bidet to handle your business, the air in there is
I leave that
fresh.
fan on when I leave
the fan
bathroom.
doesn't come off.
Yeah, I leave that fan on when I leave the bathroom, and I hope that no one's going to be like, you're finally out.
I put a little bit of soap in the sink and turn the water on, let it soap up, so then it smells like raspberry tart.
I've done that.
I don't know the strategy. There's a candle.
I've went in the shower and like poured it like in the shower floor and then blasted it with a shower head. Like, yeah, vanilla. All right, that's good. Whatever you can do.
Some of our bathrooms have a Yankee candle, which is a nice 2-piece. I'm sorry, Taylor. No, it's a nice 2-piece because one, it burns the methane and like handles just burning it will do a lot, and then it like the Yankee candle just throws whatever fruit topping.
Yeah,
Can I tell my story first?
You go for it, man.
So sometime around 8th or 9th grade, I didn't know it, but my friend started smoking pot, and right, so. That meant they started carrying lighters, and they went through this phase that when everyone had to fart, they were spending time without me, right? Obviously, because they started smoking pot and I didn't know. But they went through this phase of whenever someone had to fart, they would light it on fire. And they became like this coordinated team, right? Like if you're near a bed or something, a guy would like, you're like, all right, gotta go, and he'd like jump on the bed on his back, knees up. The other guy would hit the lighter like right by his anus, and you'd get a puff of flame. Have you guys ever done this?
I've seen it, but I never wanted fire around my genitals. So
Well,
I've seen
never
it,
did
never
it.
tried it.
So like they did this, and it was like, oh, that's a thing. I even did it once or twice, but I wasn't quite like them. I'd just be like,
You dabbled. Yeah.
yeah, I would bend over and they'd light it. I never hit the missionary position like the pros would. But and then they might do that if there was no bed nearby or something. Maybe we're outside. But I forget what their code word was. But they like had a thing.
Fire in the hole.
That would be perfect. I like that. But I don't think that was it. But yeah, so they'd be like, all right, go time, and they'd like race to a bedroom, light the thing on fire, and it would be pretty much odorless. It was just expelled. It was done. It was burnt. And then one day I wasn't there for this. But some chick farted, and I don't know what the scoop is. I don't know if it's girl related or what, but there was like a backdraft, and it burnt her hiney, and they never did it again.
Well, I've seen YouTube videos where the guy's like pubic hair catches on fire or his ass hair catches on fire. I'm not real hairy back there, but I know from my pornography experience, I've seen some guys are just a forest back there. I imagine that Taylor is.
I'm out of control back. I shaved my genitals down there, but it's just an island of no hair and just a thicket everywhere else. Just out of control.
I imagine that if Taylor lit a fart, his ass would ignite. It'd be like, put me out! Like there would be hair on fire.
This
Too
was
risky.
through
Sicilians
jeans.
can't be fucking with farting into a lighter.
This was through jeans in this case. They didn't take their clothes off for it.
Oh, that's even worse. Then his pubic hair is on fire in his pants where he can't get to them.
That's an issue. It's like an underground coal fire.
People, people see you burning, but they don't understand. It's like when those people are in an alcohol fire at the racetrack. That you're burning alive, but no one can understand. That's what that would be like. Your whole asshole is just melting. Can you imagine third-degree burns on your asshole? Like, just explaining that. Where do they take the graft from? That's generally where they take the skin from, is your ass. You burn your ass, you're fucked.
Like, take some forehead skin, put it on your butthole. I got a little out of control. I got a good shit story. I almost wanted to save this one for PKA, but this can be a Patreon exclusive. So I went fly fishing. I've mentioned that before with my dad this past year, and it was just us two and the guide, and it was just this dude in his truck. He picked us up, drove us to Eastern Oregon, and did a whole day of fly fishing. We got there, I get out, and I felt like a rumbling in my stomach in the car on the way there, and I was like, just weather this storm and get through it, and then you can hold it till you get home tonight. And so I got through it, thought it was going to be okay. We're fly fishing for like 3 hours. Then we go to have lunch, and he brought some like sandwiches that were soggy and gross, and so we were sitting there eating. And I just suddenly got the urge of like, if I don't get to a bathroom, I'm gonna shit my fucking pants, right? And this guy's waiters. and so I told him, I'm like, I really have to go to the bathroom. Can you drive me to that outhouse, 3/4 of a mile away? And I just met this guy. My dad. The guy's like, yeah, sure. You want to wait till we're done eating? And I'm like, no, right now. I need you to get me in that truck, and we need to drive there. And my dad's like, all right, I'll wait here. We start walking up there, and I got so much closer to this guy than I should have for a day of fly fishing, where I was like, honestly, man, like keep in mind, I just met this guy. He's just showing us how to fly fish. I've known him for 2.5 hours. I'm like, honestly, man, like, I don't think I'm going to make it. Like, would you mind if I just went and shat in the bushes right there? Just went and took a shit. And he's like, honestly, dude, it's like 3/4 of a mile down the road here. I think you can make it. I get up to his door, like the car door, about to open it. And I'm like, dude, like, is it right there? You said that it's 3/4 of a mile. Is it right over that hill? And he's like, it's right over that hill. I'm like, all right, I can do it. So I'm going to shit my fucking pants. It is not right over that hill. And so I'm sitting there right next to him, and he's like, you good? And I'm like, I'm shifting in his truck seat. I'm like, I'm not going to make it. Like, I'm not going to make it. He pulls right up to this outhouse, just right up to it. I get out, run over, just destroy this little public park outhouse. There's no door on it, so I'm just sitting there taking a shit, and he's like in his car, but it's facing me, so he's just like pretending to be on his phone in the middle of fucking Oregon where he has no service, and so I'm just shitting there, There's no toilet paper, so I have to take off the waders as I'm like sitting there with a just swamp ass poopy butthole, and take off one of my socks and just make do, just like put it on my hand like a mitten. My ass with the poopy sock, throw it away, just have a wet foot the rest of the day. It was horrible, and then the ride back was the most uncomfortable thing of my life. Where I got back in, he's like, "You feeling better?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, you know how it is." And then just there. We didn't like he would come up behind me and like show me how to cast later in the day, and it was almost so uncomfortable. Of like, we you know what I've done, you know what I've been up to. There was no sink in that shitty little door.
The magic is gone.
Oh, it was
my dad was hunting, and I wasn't with him on this trip. I went with him almost every evening, but this particular time he went alone, and he had to shit. So he shits in the woods. And he takes it. I was like, "What'd you do for toilet paper or whatever?" And after this, I swear to God, and I bet it's still true right now, he has a roll of toilet paper in that truck. He always has a roll of toilet paper in that truck now. Because what he had to do was he wore like whitey tighties at the time. Since he's progressed on to boxer shorts, but he tore them into strips. He tears these things into, and he's like, "All right, I think we might have enough here." And he uses his underwear to wipe his ass. I had to ask him. I was like, "What'd you wipe your ass with?" You know, because he's like, "I had to go. It was awful. It was awful. Your mama's cooking."
Have you ever tried to wipe your ass with a slightly damp sock?
No.
It's about as useful as Anne Frank's trumpet. Just
smeared.
Awful,
you do not get it.
It doesn't smear correctly.
Because she had to hide? Is that why?
Because she couldn't make noise, or she'd be killed for being a Jew. Yeah.
You know, in the unedited version of Anne Frank's diary, she talks a lot about masturbation.
She does.
I've heard that.
Read that too. Okay.
I read some of the missing passages. Apparently, she went through what is very normal sort of growing up in self-discovery, but, you know.
In an attic, yeah.
But knowing that her father published this thing later on, it's a little uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, I guess.
No, he published it without the masturbating stuff.
Yes, but he had to edit it out. He had to be like, "Okay, we'll take the clitoris part out." Yep.
Yeah. She describes like basically what her junk looks like while sitting, while standing, while spreading, you know, and just self-discovery, going through puberty type stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was her fucking diary. I don't think she expected that shit to get published.
Poor thing.
All right? Like, she's somewhere like, "Fuck you all, that was my shit." Like, my diary. Like,
Dad!
Name one girl on the planet who's okay with one other person reading their diary.
They say I exploit my kids for money. For fuck's sake, you don't see Hope's diary on my channel.
Right?
That's true. It's Mr. Frank who deserves the brunt of this.
If you really think about it, I wonder if he profited from that, or if that was just him. If he was doing it from a, I don't know.
I feel like a lot of good came from it too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It wasn't you.
Oh Jesus! I didn't think that. I didn't see where you guys were going. I was last to catch on, but yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of good came from people understanding like what the other side was really like. The other side is if I'm on the Nazi end of this, but
I wonder how she even experimented and did shit like that. Like, it's my understanding
while
that she was
hiding in a dresser
attic.
drawer.
Well, I don't think the diary was written entirely during her like, "Oh shit, don't make a noise" phase of life. I think it you know was it took place. It began. She started keeping a diary before the Nazis really came into power and started going after the Jews, at least.
Have you guys seen that video where the title I always see associated with it is "Just because it's not happening here doesn't mean it's not happening"? No? Oh. So it's this really, and forgive the pedo one, it's this cute, like, 11-year-old girl, right? She looks like she's from a fairly wealthy family, and she's all pretty, and she blows out a birthday candle. And then, like, you see her sort of enjoying, like, normal life, but a little more crisis. Like, there's some things going on in the news TV in the background, and then it just keeps escalating and escalating until, like, it's full-on war-torn Syrian refugee style stuff. I bet I could find it. It's moving, and it kind of reminds me of Anne Frank.
I remember reading that Anne Frank diary when we had to in like 7th grade or whatever, and it being such a surprise that she didn't live through the war. Like, it's like, what? She dies at the end, and you still made us
they
read
caught
this?
her.
Like, this is What a macabre, awful story.
Yeah, why it would have been funny if the diary ended like what was his name? Balin. Like Balin's last account in Lord of the Rings. It's like
They are coming.
they've reached the Hornburg and the spiraling hall, and it's just like
And then
it's
it's
getting
just like a
worse and
scroll
worse.
at the end,
Can we watch this together? Oh, did I link it? I meant
Yeah,
to
you
Yeah, you did.
Oh.
So this is the hot 11-year-old.
Oh my gosh. I didn't mean it like that. But yeah. So it's a 1.5 minute long video. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Ready, set, play.
Happy birthday to you.
Make a wish.
Granny.
Have you done your homework?
Ada.
For a general strike.
Ready or not?
Here it comes.
Violent clashes with
Do you see the TV in the background?
Deserve to get shot.
Have a nice day at school.
air strikes on rebel position.
We are going to stay.
What's happening?
Have a fight
So
in Richmond.
what is it? The Blitz 2.0?
It happens over a year.
Rebel forces
What's
attack.
happening?
In the UK?
I picture it to be Syria. I don't know.
But this isn't Syria.
Daddy!
It's not real.
I
Happy birthday to you. Make a wish, darling.
I'm not sure if I. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, but they're different.
They're not real people.
No, they're not real people. Did you see that massive sexual assaults over in Germany over the New Year's Eve thing?
No, I don't
We're
know
like-
anything about this.
Where like hundreds of I guess Syrian refugees lined up outside this thing, and every woman who walked through, like hundreds of them, assaulted her.
What?
Oh. Really?
Wait,
Yeah,
you mean
the-
you're
it's
not
being-
assimilating peacefully? Like,
Hundreds of
Yeah,
Syrians
they
sexual
assaulted-
assaulted every woman that came by?
Every single one. They in like a gauntlet. Yeah, there's lots of reports of it. Of the there's so,
No.
I've read on Reddit that the Reddit mods are across every subreddit trying to suppress all the stories. They've set like things that are to that topic to like an auto delete list or something like that. But yeah, the Chancellor Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany, said it was a disgrace. Apparently, like no police came and helped. One of the women assaulted was a volunteer police officer. It was a big deal.
Dude,
But
if
dude,
that
no-
happened
no
in
one-
America,
That's horrific.
shit would go down. Like vigilante justice. And for all the fussing we have about how aggressive American policemen are, they're pretty much impossible to intimidate. Like, if 20 gang members are giving one cop a hard time, he doesn't run for his life. He gets 60 more cops, and then
Yeah.
they support each other in a way that you see in war zones, like they American police enforce the law of the land, no questions, no compromise, no fucking around. If there was a gauntlet of Syrians giving women a hard time, there would be a gauntlet of cops giving Syrians a hard time.
That's literally what happened. I think I saw where a lot of government officials were calling what the police non-reaction a national disgrace. It's a whole thing. I was reading
There's
a lot
no
of
winning there,
reports of-
though. If they had reacted, it would have been, racist police targeting innocent Syrians or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll spin it however they need to.
And
But-
this is I remember like when during like 5 years ago when the thing in Syria was just heating up. Maybe it wasn't quite that long ago. Maybe 3 years ago. I remember like hearing reports of like the news media women being assaulted in the streets over there and stuff like that. I think
Over
I
there is
wish-
one thing, but when you get to like
In
a Western
Syria,
country,
yeah.
That shit should be like on lockdown. Like it should be very hard to be out of control here. Like it happened in
I
Ferguson.
read a lot of I read about a lot of gang rapes that happen, and it's always Middle Eastern or people of Northern African descent who
I feel like you're not
gang
giving
rape.
the Indians enough credit for their gang raping privileges.
The Indians do their gang raping in India.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
This
Yeah.
is where they're already kind of used to that sort of thing.
They're built for it.
But you've got the Middle Eastern and the North African immigrants going into these European countries, and I keep reading about it. I'm almost afraid to even mention it. Just the same way that no one talks about black on white crime in this country. Like it's almost like you're not supposed to mention it when there's this repeated pattern of these Middle Eastern people always raping white women in these
It's a
European
huge pattern.
countries.
Yeah, in Sweden, I was watching something where it's like 100% of new rapes in like the last X amount of time were committed against white women by those immigrants from Syria or from the Middle East, wherever. Where it's like their rape problem has gone through the roof, and overwhelmingly, like damn near 100%, it's not like fucking Vladislav raping some chick. It's some guy from the Middle East doing it. Yeah, Ahmed or something. Like it's because I think those cultures, they have such little respect for women as people.
So now, if all them liberal European countries had them a little firepower, they'd be like,
Dude,
That's
I
what they
want
need.
that.
Yeah.
I'm lusting after that.
"See, there ain't nothing wrong with this. Everyone should have one, goddamn."
Everyone should have two.
Oh, sorry, that got out of hand. That went crazy there for a minute. Yeah, so this is my new gun.
Of course it is.
This thing is it's a DP12. It's a double-barreled shotgun, and every time you pump it, it cycles 2 shells. So it's. Let me try to not
When
do
you
that.
shoot it, how many shells does it shoot?
Dose. Well, each trigger pull is 1 round.
So you
I'm
pull cycle. God,
So
I need
it lasts
that.
Perfect
really
for home
fast.
defense.
I have 5 of them, and I would happily sell you one for, I don't know, 1,000. The whole purpose of having them is I intend on selling them.
Kyle, it is a lock. I will either buy one for 1,000 or I will buy that decked out one for some other price.
Yeah, I don't know how much this shit costs, or I really don't want to sell this shit. I'd rather like keep it because I don't have a lot of accessories.
But you
I don't have any
2
lasers.
of them.
Well, I'm gonna give one to my dad, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'll probably keep the 2.
Do I need a special license for that behemoth? Or
Driver's license.
oh, well then I will take one.
Gotta
too.
go get it. I was in the gun store talking
We
to him
should
about
meet it. We could rendezvous at Wings' house, even though it's totally not between us. When
Oh.
you do the photography,
I'm going soon. Like,
Just
part
a
of me
thought.
I was planning on going tomorrow,
Oh.
but I have to supervise Josh tomorrow, and then Thursday is obviously PKA.
Of course,
But,
you need
like,
to supervise.
Those
him.
holes won't dig themselves. You know?
And not everyone
like,
just knows how to dig holes.
For real. He's tomorrow. I called my dad. I talked to my dad tonight, and I was like, Josh is probably going to get there like half an hour, 45 minutes before me tomorrow. Have him do something because he's on my dime as soon as he gets there. That's the way we do it.
Right.
I'm like, just have him pick some shit up, you know. And he's like, I don't want him to mess nothing up. I was like, well, send him out in the field to pick up the wood scraps. You can't fuck that up. And he's like, well, he's got to get out there some way. I guess I can let him take one of the buggies because he's got these like 4x4 ATV things.
Like
So,
gators?
Yeah, I got to supervise. Yeah, he's got a Kubota and a Kawasaki Mule.
Those are
one of-
nice. Are they diesel?
One's diesel, one's gasoline. The Kubota's pretty new, like maybe 2 years old. I think it was $9,000.
Is it diesel? Or is that the gas
yeah.
one? It might be
I'm
more
pretty
than
sure it's
that,
diesel.
Unless you got it used.
He got it new. I don't recall exactly what the deal is, but it's very nice, and it goes a lot faster than the Mule, which has a like a governor type thing where you can tell it has the power to go faster, but it like idles down, and you're like, oh, this is it, and you get floored. But
That's what my golf cart's like.
But yeah, I'm going to Wings definitely next week. Like one day next week. I could even go this weekend. But yeah, that'd be cool. I'll bring you one of these things up there. I'm gonna test fire this one a lot tomorrow. So if these things fall apart in my hands, you'll know that it's a piece of junk. But I'm gonna tell you, it feels nice and heavy. I was telling Taylor earlier that like compared to like this gun looks pretty similar. Like not too far off. This gun, the UTAS 15, is so light I can hold it with 2 fingers, and I mean it's just plastic everywhere. The
Did that
back
have
is
the
plastic.
reliability issues?
Yes, piece of
That's
shit.
the
I had
one? Oh.
I had 3 of those, and 2 of them broke before I could get a video filmed. Just in the course of filming a video in one day. But this, on the other hand, is very hefty. You know you got something.
That
here.
needs to sit right back there.
I mean,
That's such a cool gun. If I bought one, I would want those little scary, spiky things on the end. Yeah, those.
Yeah.
So those are door breaching chokes. Normally they're not quite so extreme, and the idea is you stab it into the door by the locking mechanism or right over the bolt. If it's a deadbolt or whatever, and that holds it, you're securely poked into the door, and then you can shoot without having a barrel flat against the wood. This one,
it's for breaking a lock, if you didn't follow that.
This one is not quite so ridiculously aggressive.
No, that one's not as cool.
Yeah, this is more of a standard.
I feel like if you poked me in the chest with that, I'd survive, and I would like to die just from the poking action. The gunshot is just for fun.
But
that's so insane.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to playing with this some tomorrow. I'm going to be shooting drones out of the air with these. I think that'll be cool.
As you do.
Yeah.
Just gloss over that.
Yeah. I mean, it's Wednesday.
What are you gonna have for breakfast? As long as we're talking about banal things.
This is just the standard one with nothing on it.
I could see putting my EOTech on that. Because I don't love my EOTech for the, I think I have it on an F. It's either on my M4 AR-15 variant thing or on the FN2000. I think it's on the AR-15.
Can you hold up the plain one again? That's the one that we could buy for $1,000.
Yeah.
Like it'd be just like that.
Yeah, I think retail's $1,250, something like that. Like that's about as cheap as you can get them online. But I would sell them for $1,000 for you guys if either of you wanted one.
That'd be awesome.
I really like that.
Yeah, well, obviously I need that.
Yeah, I need to kill those pheasant, and I need that to do it.
When my family's not home and the dogs bark at nothing, that will be the thing I grab.
Yep.
Go on.
I can ask them. I can get the prices for those accessories. Like, I mean, accessorizing a gun is kind of a thing you can do yourself, but there's something to be said about having like a stylist come in and do a thing for you. I think that one looks really cool.
It does. Very feng shui. Looks balanced, and it's got a lot of shit on it.
A lot of shit on it.
Yeah. We're over time. I'm bouncing around the idea of making a daily video for like the rest of January. Just like, you know what? Except Sunday, because I like to give PKA a chance to accumulate views. But I was like, what if I have a video to upload every day?
Live content?
Like vlog content. Yeah. I don't know. I was thinking about it. I was like, I think people might like it. Give it a go. See what it comes up with. See if I get good at it too. I was watching Casey Neistat video recently, and his editing and his music is so good. I'm like, I'm inspired to do something in that family. People
Have you
like
considered maybe doing a video game commentary again?
Nope.
Back to the roots? No?
No. A lot of people like that. A lot of people are like, oh, Woody, you should make COD videos again. And I think, really? Like, you want Call of Duty videos? I don't know. They're not the kind of... I don't have passion for Call of Duty videos anymore like I once did. When I do see a Call of Duty video, it's because I like that guy and I want to know what he's up to nowadays. It's not because I care about that game in the slightest.
Yeah, you don't want any tips. Like, that's kind of coming
I watched Wings play COD the other day. That was fun.
Was that the one on the PKA subreddit? He said something like, I got a new controller. Isn't a new controller the greatest thing? It's like a fresh piece of pussy.
I didn't see that one.
Okay.
It was an older one. I did see that thumbnail while I was on his channel, though. And I watched some of his Fallout. He's doing a Fallout Let's Play.
I listened to the rest of that video, and I really enjoyed it. I think Wings makes good COD videos. But the COD game itself and stuff, I really had no interest in.
Yeah,
and
that's not the draw.
He was doing really well. He started off like 17-3, but I didn't see any like cool kill streaking going on. So I don't know what happened. If he just kept if maybe he had his goals too high or what. But
he does set them high.
Does he?
Yeah. Well, I haven't watched a ton of his content, but traditionally he's always been a
He didn't
set them up really high.
He didn't fully explain it, but I could tell he was really frustrated at his deaths, and I got the vibe it was because it was right before something good was about to come his way. So
Yeah.
Do the streaks stack in the current COD?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah.
They do?
But
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you get less points. So like
exactly.
if you get
It's like a quarter kill.
Yeah, you get like 100 points for a regular kill, like 125 if you're defending a flag. But then if you call in wraps or an airstrike, it's like 25 points a kill. So it stacks, but
Still,
not great.
If it's a high-end streak, though, sometimes that'll do it. Like
I guess I haven't gotten very many.
maybe.
I've
I haven't got that
wraps.
high yet. Maybe that's a possibility.
I haven't even played.
I just do UAV, care package, and counter UAV. Because you get UAV assists. Anytime somebody gets a kill while your UAV or your counter is up, you get 10 points. Which
I like the care
doesn't
package.
help.
I rely on that to get me any
good.
to make the game fun.
You're the player we all used to hate now, right? That guy didn't earn that.
Yeah.
Um,
I can't earn them.
What was I gonna say? The counter UAV. If it works like it does traditionally in COD, those are way more useful than a lot of people would give them credit for. Like just having that thing blanked out is
They don't
awful.
keep me blanked out for very long. I have one of the most high end camos available in the game for my missile launcher.
And you haven't even played that much.
You got to get like maybe 150 or maybe 300 air support takedowns to get the camo I got on this thing, because it's I have it on every class because it's really good anti-personnel rocket. It's great at that. Like, it's the best noob weapon. You just camp and aim at the door, just straight at the ground, and I'm aiming far enough from me it won't kill me, but close enough to the door that it'll kill anyone who comes through the door. And I'm just, come on in. Yeah, come. And I can hear him fucking pissed off. You fucking faggot noob, bitch! And I'm just like reloading it and finding a new spot, aiming, on the left side of the door this time. But I shoot down all the air support that comes. I really am the player that we used to hate.
We
You
used
were
to be
handy
good,
play
Kyle.
with because you never, when we were playing together, like, you wouldn't get that many kills, but every single time there was a UAV, a counter UAV, anything in the air or on the ground, Kyle got it every single time.
Sometimes they wouldn't even last. Like, you call it in and the announcer tells you that it's there. I'd shoot it. It would be getting shot down before the announcer could even say anything, because I would visually see it and I'd be like, "Oh, you too."
Yeah, it's like enemy UAV inbound. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, the guy who's calling those in must have gotten shit. And then there's a quad-barreled air support rocket that you can use as well, and that thing shoots. You got 4 rockets, so you can shoot just about anything down.
I'm thinking of making this PKN public so people know what PKN is all about. What do you guys think?
Chiz and I were talking about that, and we decided that I agreed with him that maybe. So what I said was, hey, let's do a free show to start the new year. And he said we should do the free show at the end of the month rather than the beginning of the month, because, okay, I agree to you.
I think if there is a sampling like that, show them what they would get.
I think it's a good one. So yeah, if you're out there listening to this, this is what PKN is all about. We get in here and we don't really have any hard setup. We don't know what we're going to talk about at all. We just kind of shoot the shit and have a good time. And there's a lot of visual stuff on here. I've shot. I don't know.
Potato
I've had
guns, flamethrowers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a joke. I often do a bad joke on PKN. Sometimes I forget. But are you ready? We're going to wrap up this show with a bad joke.
Let's hear it.
Let's go.
4 former U.S. presidents are caught in a horrible tornado, and it hits a state funeral they're all attending in Kansas. Suddenly, they're in Oz. They finally make their way to Emerald City, and they come before the great and powerful Oz. What brings you to the great Wizard of Oz? And Jimmy Carter steps forward timidly and says, I've come for some courage. No problem, says the wizard. Who is next? Ronald Reagan steps forward and says, well, I think I need a heart. Done, says the wizard. Who comes next before the great and powerful Oz? Then comes George W. Bush. He says, I'm told by the American people that I need a brain. Not a problem. Consider it done. There's a great silence in the hall. Bill Clinton's just standing there, looking around, doesn't say a word. Irritated, the wizard finally asks, what is it that you want? Is Dorothy around?
Because he wanted a blowjob.
Who knows what kind of cigar shenanigans Clinton had in mind. But there it is. I tell a joke, most PKNs, and they're never good.
Yep. I wanted you to do the voices of the presidents as you went along.
I wish I had thought of that.
Your own impressions.
It would have been awful.
Yeah.
Would have made the joke that much worse, and I'd have hit my goal.
Yeah, I know. Would have loved to hear your Reagan.
All right.
Well, yeah, if you guys want more of this, you want to get it every week when it comes out with the video, so you know it's topical a lot of the times, sign up down below. Patreon. It's cheap. It's like $10 a month or something like that.
It's awesome. And, well, I guess that's that. PKN, episode 73. I hope you guys like it.
See you later.